How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. With this week being Christmas, and the fact that I'm going to be very busy in the next couple of days, as I'm sure most of you will be too, I thought I would get this video done and over with now. So with that being said, let's get right into it. This week is Notre Dame's bowl game. And of course, as we all know, the Irish will be taking on the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers in the New Era Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium this Saturday in the Bronx at 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, 11 o'clock in the morning my time, Central Time and all that. Now, for us Irish fans, obviously an 8-4 season and a trip to the Pinstripe Bowl is not what we had hoped for. And it does kind of suck, and to be honest, it is a little bit hard to get excited for this game because, hey, it's not a BCS bowl game, it's not a national championship game, so it does kind of suck, but at the same time, it is a postseason bowl game. We do get to see our Irish play for one last time this season, and there's a lot of guys that are going to be leaving us after this year that have done a lot of great things for us, and so it's, even though it's not a real flashy bowl game that we're playing in to close out the season, it's still another Fighting Irish game. So hey, we're going to be watching it with our families. It's Christmas time. Let's just enjoy it the best we can. Hey, it is a reality that we have to face. But when I look back on this season, and I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea here, because I'm not trying to be a Notre Dame homer or sugarcoat anything or make any excuses. But when you look at this year's team and everything that's gone on with all the injuries that we've suffered on defense, Everett Golson getting suspended and having to go with Tommy Rees, and all those different things, having to rotate guys here and there, and some freshman players like Jalen Smith who are getting used to the game at the collegiate level, and just with Tommy Rees being a quarterback, which I'm not trying to knock him, but let's face it, he was never meant to be in this system. It just is not built for him. Everett Golson or Malik Zaire, it's more suited for them. But considering all that, I'd say an 8-4 record with this team and all those things that I just mentioned, looking at it from all angles, that's actually a pretty good season considering all that. Now, yes, could it have been better? Are we a few mistakes away from possibly being a 9 or 10 win team? Darn right. But you can't dwell on it, or else that'll just stick with you and eat at you. And we don't want that to happen. We got the future to look forward to. But all that aside, I'll tell you guys one thing: 8-4 is definitely a lot better than 6-6. I'll take those 2 extra wins any day. But with that said, this isn't a flashy bowl game. We know that, but as it's been said nonstop, any kind of postseason bowl game that you get is very important because. And I'm not trying to sound like a cliche here, but those 15 extra practices, 12 to 15 extra practices, whatever they may be, is really good for a football program because it helps, in our case, with Everett Golson being readmitted to the school, and it's a nice transition over into spring ball and gives us a little bit of a head start on things. And does that always pan out? No, but it's better to have those extra practices and help guys get some more experience and training and all that good stuff. So it's worth it, I think. But anyway, quick thing I want to mention too: a user out there, and if he happens to be watching, he goes by the screen name Mark Esposito or something like that, had a little discussion with this clown, and just for the record, dude, and this is all I'm going to say about it: no, I do not think that football is more important than education or life itself. This is what this guy seemed to think from a recent video of mine that we had a little discussion on. Dude, I just believe in second chances. Okay? If Everett comes back and makes the same mistake, then he should go. But I don't see what you have against second chances. Everyone deserves at least one in life, and Everett made a mistake. He fessed up to it, and I have no problem with the university allowing him the chance to redeem himself. And if he does it, then hey, what's the problem? I don't get it. But you know what? You're a clown, and I've wasted enough time with you already. But anyway, enough of that stuff. Let's get to the game itself. Now, Rutgers is 6-6 on the year, 3-5 in American Athletic Conference play. The last time we played the Scarlet Knights was Senior Day in South Bend, 2002. And I actually remember watching that game. we took care of Rutgers pretty easily that day. Beat them by a score of 42-0. But obviously things in 11 years can really change, and maybe when you look at Rutgers' record of 6-6, maybe you could say no, it hasn't really changed. But hey, you got to remember there were a few good years where Rutgers was actually contending for BCS bowls, and I think one year they had sort of a run at possibly a national championship berth, but something like that. They were up there, put it that way. Rutgers, looking at the numbers, and again, I know that numbers can be really deceiving, and you also have to consider the conference that they play in, and non-conference opponents, you know, all that fun stuff, you know. But just judging by the numbers alone, defensively, this Rutgers team is very good at stopping the run. If I'm not mistaken, they have the 4th best rush defense in the country. And you know, again, numbers can be deceiving, but I don't care what anyone says. I think that's pretty good. You know, even in these conferences that maybe aren't as powerful as some, you still get some good talent. So I'll give Rutgers the credit that they deserve in that case. But they only allow an average of 95 rushing yards a game, which is pretty impressive. So that's going to be one thing that the Irish really have to do. And I've been saying this all season long. Probably, if I go back and look at every video, I probably said it for every single game. We've got to establish the run. You know, we've got to find some way to get our run game going against these guys. And you know, if we're able to do that, I like our chances of you know, really moving down the field on these guys and getting a lot of points. So we got to establish the run. Now Rutgers offensively, I know in the last few games they've shuffled back and forth between their 2 quarterbacks, and I'm not exactly sure which one is going to start. But overall, they have a pretty solid offense. You know, pretty balanced and basic. But definitely, by far, in my opinion, their biggest playmaker is running back Paul James. Now he's missed 4 games this year, but in the 8 games that he has played, he's done very well. About 830 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns, an average of about 5.7 or 5.8 yards a carry, which I think is very impressive for any running back at any school, any level. Yeah, he was definitely a major contributor in their victory over South Florida, which made them bowl eligible. I think he had about 120 yards on the ground in that game, 1 rushing touchdown, and he even contributed for 3 catches for 20 yards. So he is a very strong asset to this Rutgers football team. But definitely, in my opinion, the biggest key to victory for the Irish, and this is where I see the game as being a make or break for the Irish, is our passing game against their secondary. Because Rutgers' secondary, I'm not trying to be mean here, but it's been just atrocious. They've not been good at all. One of the worst pass defenses in the country. And you know, Tommy Rees, I know he's he's not Joe Montana, he's not Johnny Manziel or superstar type quarterback, but he can throw the ball well. I mean, basically in this game, when it comes to passing, Tommy Rees, I think he's either going to be the only thing that will stop Tommy Rees in this game is Tommy Rees. And this is another thing that I've been saying all season long for every single game. Tommy cannot turn the ball over. If he wants to end his Notre Dame career and go out on top, he's got to be efficient. He has to protect the football and make the smart throws. No mistakes in this. I mean, look, we have a 2-9 bowl record in our last 11 bowl games. We've got to remedy that. We've got to change that. In some of these bowl games, we've had opportunities to win and we've let it slip away. But that's really all I can say about that. But I think that's where the difference in this game is going to be, is our passing game against their secondary. If we can be strong there with the weapons that we have, and DeVaris Daniels and T.J. Jones and Troy Nicholas, Ben Koyak, Will Fuller, we should have a field day against these guys. Now maybe that's the fan in me talking, but hey, I'm just going with how I see it. But one thing that does concern me a little bit is, and I alluded to this earlier, but we have had a lot of injuries this year, especially on defense. We are going to be without the services of Louis Nix for this game. I mean, he wasn't going to play it anyway because of his injury, but he made it really official when he signed with an agent, and he's declared for the NFL draft. And you know, Lewis Nix, I wish him all the best. It was really fun to watch him in his time here at Notre Dame, and you know, very comical guy. I'll say that about him. But he's going to definitely leave his absence is going to leave a big hole at our nose tackle spot. So whoever's going to take over the role there has really got to step up. But that is one thing that does concern me with Rutgers having a running back like Paul James. It does kind of concern me because we've had some problems stopping the run this year at times. But at the same time, though, with all the injuries that we have sustained, we've had plenty of time to get rested up and, you know, lick our wounds a little bit. So I think we should be good to go. We should be just fine defensively. So with all that said, I'm not trying to sound arrogant here or cocky or anything like that, but I really like our chances of winning this game pretty big. There's definitely no reason why I don't think we can't put up 40 points at least. So after thinking about it and really looking at this game from all angles and the matchups and the numbers, I think we do win this game pretty big. And maybe I'm not one to say that because, you know, we lost to Pittsburgh, but still though, I mean, Rutgers, Pittsburgh, two entirely different teams. So I'm going to say my final score prediction for this game. I think we take this game by a final score of 45-20. I mean, Rutgers, they will score. I don't see us shutting these guys out. They will get some scores on us. So that's how I see it, guys. 45-20 is my final prediction for this game. I just think even with all our injuries and, you know, with Tommy Rees as our quarterback, I still think we have a lot more firepower than Rutgers does, and we win this game big. And we finish the season strong with a 9-4 record and a nice little transition over into spring practice. So that's really all I have for you guys in this video. I do plan to make another little one later, midweek possibly, if I get the time. I don't know yet. But if I don't get around to it, I just want to say to all of you guys on here, to all of you in the trash talking circle, all my non-TTC viewers, you know, all of you my good friends on here, everyone at Notre Dame in the Endzone.com. Just want to wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas, and on top of that, have a very safe Merry Christmas, especially if you're traveling in hellish weather. And God bless every single one of you. Go Irish, beat Rutgers.